I knew it. It's well hidden, but all the documents point to the same thing. The cursed sword's soul edge gives power in exchange for the wielder's sanity. With this sword, I can put a stop to the petty wars between the nobles and create a new perfect world for Amy. Another late night. I wonder whether Amy's already asleep.
The day has long come to an end as Raphael leaves the reading room in the outbuilding and heads for the main house. Every step he took as he hurried toward his dear Amy, his legs became heavier. The familiar walk felt longer than usual, as though it was leading to somewhere different.
I've been waiting for you, Raphael Sorel.
Who are you?
Oh dear, kindly don't point that thing at me. I'm simply here to ask you what you're planning. For the sake of humanity's future, I hasten to add.
Humanity's future? You must be.
It was the so-called Scholar of the Future standing before him. Raphael explained his plan, pausing to ask questions about the cursed sword from time to time. But he was aware that at any moment, a fight to the death might erupt.
Oh my, so you intend to give Soul Edge to the nobles?
Their war will escalate as they try to steal it from each other, at least for a time. Ultimately, however, even the last one standing will perish on account of the sword, thereby ending the chaos.
So you wish to turn the Earth into some sort of purgatory? You would sacrifice the innocent masses so?
They live as if they were already dead, but they will become the foundation of a new world, giving their existence meaning.
I see, I see. You are fascinating. While our methods differ, I consider you a comrade on account of your lofty ideals. Now, before I go, comrade, I shall test you to see whether you have what it takes to claim the cursed sword.
Feast your eyes on my rapier, the creator of a new world. Let's see whose idea is better.
It's in your eyes.
Let's see whose idea is better. Try to have some dignity.
What a marvelous invitation!
Try to have some dignity. Still want more? It's time for you to perish. Let's see whose idea is better.
Study complete.
Stick with me. Let's see whose idea is better. Checkmate. That's more like it. Check.
Bravo, comrade! Your wisdom will no doubt ensure you reach the Soul Edge before any other.
There are others? Then I must hurry.
Should you be wounded by the cursed sword, use this medicine. It will neutralize the poison, hopefully before you completely transform into a monster. Bon voyage.
Before Raphael knew it, the strange man was gone, and he was following the spiral staircase up to Amy's room. Though the medicine vial was new to him, it felt as though he had carried it all his life.
Amy, are you asleep? I'm going on a journey. A journey to make you the perfect world.
Raphael, don't go.
Sorry to wake you. I'll stay by your side until you fall back to sleep. Good night, my dear, precious Amy.
So began the grand yet perverse plan, devised by one for the sake of another. When a twisted soul seeks the cursed sword, the cogs of history once again begin to turn. The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Mitsurugi was a samurai who lived during Japan's Civil War period. Apprehensive of the increasing use of firearms, he traveled far and wide in search of the powerful weapon Soul Edge, but his efforts proved fruitless. Disappointed, Mitsurugi returned to his domain. To vent his frustrations, he entered a tournament against Tanegashima Firearms. However, this too ended in defeat. What else could a self-made man like Mitsurugi do but face the changing times head-on?
Damn! Must I know? I've mastered the perfect... All I need now is a strong weapon.
This perhaps you have an infamous barbarian.
An invincible sword, you say? You must be talking about Soul Edge. I've no time for idle chit-chat. Just you wait, Knight of Mare, was it? Your sword will be mine! As ever, I'm a fish out of...
Are you the one called Mitsurugi?
It seems wherever I go, there are fools spoiling for a fight. Fight! Sight! Ready? Fight!
How's this?
Sight! Ready? Take! No mercy!
What?
What? See that? Your time is over! Your time is over! See that? Your time is over! Your time is over! See that? Sight ready! Sight ready! Sight ready! No mercy! Sight ready! No mercy! Sight ready! No mercy! Mercy? I have none! Ready?
He's too strong!
Did you really think outnumbering me would work? This is nothing compared to the battlefield. You should have brought an army! I thirst for more worthy opponents. It takes great pains to keep one's combat skills sharp. The day I slay that Knight of Mare cannot come soon enough.
So you're Mitsurugi?
Is that what they say about me? Well, I cannot.
Battle 1. Fight!
Let's do this! Let's do this! I'm just getting started! Ready? No mercy!
Battle 2. Fight!
Time to end you! Depart this life! The end. Bring out! No one can. My path to the Soul Edge is clear.
Such a gifted swordsman. You appear to be well-versed in the Ido. Am I correct?
You are indeed. And who are you to know such a thing?
Just an old man with a knowledge of fighting techniques.
There's more to this old-timer than meets the eye.
Knight?
That is he. Do you know him, old man?
Perhaps I...
Come now. Do not be so stingy.
Perhaps if you indulge me in combat once more. If I recall correctly, a holy warrior resides in a shrine not too far from here.
Are you saying I should go introduce myself? A most simple task.
Battle 1. Fight!
Let's do this! That is mine! I'm just getting started! Mercy! I have no! Ready? No mercy! See that? Take! See that?
Battle 2. Fight!
Ready? No mercy! Take! See that? Take! Show me your power! Not over! Time to end you! See that?
Battle 3. Fight!
What's that? Take! Ready? See that? Your time is over! Your time is over! Ready? Slow! Time to end you! Depart this life! The end. You're mine! Ready? No mercy! My journey appears never-ending!
What's the hurry? I hear that those who seek strength. If so, that you're
Well, if you say so, there may be some truth to it.
something such as...
I did not come all this way to be stopped by petty robbers. Ready? No mercy! Sight ready! Idiot! See that? Sight ready? Sight ready? No mercy! Sight ready? Cuts! Forget it! That's it! Sight ready? No mercy! Can you keep up? Forget it! Pathetic! Okay! Sight ready? No mercy! This is it! Time to end you! Depart this life! The end. Mercy? I have none! Now die!
No rest for the wicked!
I knew this old-timer could take care of himself. Old man, such technique! You're no average warrior. Please, fight me!
Though I'd like nothing more than to indulge you, that last move has taken its toll. My opponent right now is my age.
Oh, come now! Are you sure we're heading in the right direction? Where'd he go?
When will you learn?
You! You're the one who's always getting in the way! If you're here, that means Soul Edge must be near!
Oh, is that so?
If you attempt to block me again, I'll slice you in two!
Battle 1. Fight!
I shall never hand up a Soul Edge! Ready?
When will you learn?
Come on!
Say! Hey! Show!
Cut! Ready? Come on! Brace yourself! Sight ready?
Come.
Sight ready? Come on! Time to end you! Sight ready? Come on!
Damn it!
Ring out! Battle 2. Fight!
Leave this place! Stay down!
Sight ready? Sight ready? Doesn't hurt! See that? Sight ready? Come on!
Why is this happening? You just don't learn.
Fight! Time to end you! Sight! Cut! Sight ready? Come on!
Getting there.
Ring out!
Soul Edge belongs to me!
Do you really think Soul Edge would be around here? Can you not see when you've been duped?
What?
You've made my job a lot easier. I must go thank that elderly gentleman. Farewell.
Damn! Where'd that old man get to? A note?
Forgive me for leading you on a wild goose chase. You are, indeed, a powerful warrior. That is why I could not allow you to get near Soul Edge. I can say no more.
No! I've been had!
One as formidable as you need not rely on weapons and whatnot. Rely solely on your own strength, and you shall master the martial arts. As a fighter myself, I am keen to see what path you will take. Farewell.
Well, I was able to test my hand against some formidable opponents. There is some worth in that. Still, we have unfinished business. Next time we meet, old man, we do battle!
Battle 1. Fight!
See! Stay down!
Battle 2. Fight! Battle 3. Fight!
Ling Shang Su Bo! I strike without reserve! You'll live! Gotcha!
Across all history, the truly strong remain shrouded deep in darkness, hidden from society. They carefully erase all traces of their existence, so that when later generations look back on history, it is as if they were never there. But sometimes, even the most perfect plans to erase one's tracks leave unexpected loose ends. This tome was one of those loose ends, left behind in charred ruins. What secrets lie within?
「
What secrets lie within?
Zasalamel created me. A banal way to begin a tome, but writing down one's own history in a book is strange enough to begin with. I began writing this as an indulgent pastime, so I may as well enjoy myself. Now, about the cursed sword known as Soul Edge. I intend to record its secrets in this very tome. However, I must exercise caution. A fitting end awaits all who seek the cursed sword. Some may laugh and call this an exaggeration. Should anyone who has held that sword ever read this tome, though, I'm certain they'll agree with me. The origin of Soul Edge is a mystery. Legend says it was once an ordinary sword, void of any power. But after fighting on countless battlefields, it gathered a great deal of negative power, until a curse fell upon it. That much is true. All who took Soul Edge in their hands became slaves to the blade, murdering until they bled their last drop of blood. That is why so few know of it, despite its appearances time and time again throughout history. Until, that is, an age long past, when there appeared a man with a mind powerful enough to resist the sword's control. He was known as the Hero King. In that ancient age, great change came only through war. Thus, controlling Soul Edge meant ruling the world. The Hero King, being the man he was, one could say it was inevitable that he would bring peace to this warring world. I won't record the Hero King's name here. Someday I may decide the time is right to reveal it, but that time isn't now. It is said the Hero King lost Soul Edge due to his jealous son. After the Hero King killed his son, the spirit sword SOULCALIBUR was born from the remnants of the cursed sword. Indeed, the cursed sword and the spirit sword both come from the very same steel. While the name Soul Edge is known to a select few, the name SOULCALIBUR is known to almost no one. There is a reason the spirit sword was never revealed to the world. Some say the Hero King created the spirit sword, but the truth is that the Hero King risked his life and failed. Those who would carry on the dead king's wish and perfect SOULCALIBUR were to come later. They were known as the guardians of the spirit sword. Like a thief in the night, they took the spirit sword and withdrew into the dark recesses of history. They told others of the Hero King's spirit sword, and that they were going into hiding to both prevent SOULCALIBUR from being used for evil, and to prepare for the threat of Soul Edge. The guardians of the spirit sword only entrust SOULCALIBUR to a select few. One recent example was a king from medieval Europe. Born in Britain, the king used the spirit sword to rule a large swath of Europe. I'm skeptical as to whether the king ever truly existed, but assuming the tales are true, he was somehow connected with the guardians of the spirit sword, from whom he received the blade. Also, it would be reasonable to assume the king fought with the one who possessed the cursed sword and won. After the king's death, though, no one knows what happened to the spirit sword. Perhaps we should assume it eventually found its way back to the guardians of the spirit sword. But it should be noted that their power had dwindled greatly by that time. At the same time, there were those who awaited the second coming of the king. On the eve of the king's passing, a loyal knight set forth to find the Spirit Sword and restore the crown. That was the start of the secret society known as the Aval Organization. They hid themselves well for a considerably long period of time. Not even I learned of their inner workings until quite recently. Sworn to the late king, the Aval Organization sought the Spirit Sword and secretly assassinated all whom they deemed outsiders, those who were aligned with the Cursed Sword or did harm to humankind. A deeper look, however, reveals there was some unrest hidden below the organization's seemingly unshakable exterior. After slumbering in the shadows of history, Soul Edge was awakened by the pirate Cervantes de Leon. Cervantes attacked the ship of one who had won Soul Edge at an auction. He stole the cursed sword and became its puppet. Soul Edge changes its form depending on its wielder. When Cervantes took up the cursed sword, it transformed into 2 blades. And after nearly 30 years of slumber, it caused that terrible catastrophe. Cervantes and the cursed sword were defeated by a female warrior, and one of the blades was destroyed. Shattering without coming in contact with the Spirit Sword was a first for Soul Edge. Immediately afterwards, the evil seed occurred. The evil within Soul Edge was unleashed upon the entire world. Why did the evil seed occur? What havoc did it wreak where it landed? Not even I have any way of discerning this. But one thing is certain. Ever since that day, the cursed sword's malfested kin have been swiftly multiplying. What does it mean to be malfested? It's extremely hard to define, for the resulting phenomena are so varied. There are those who undergo monstrous transformations, while others look no different from ordinary humans at first glance. In addition to humans, some animals have experienced transformations as well. Common traits of the malfested include heightened fighting instincts and violent tendencies. Some become beasts, hungry only for slaughter, while others use strategy to entrap powerful foes. But they all slip into towns and cities, seeking blood under the cover of darkness. Sometime after the evil seed, the Azure Knight Nightmare appeared. Rumors said he possessed Soul Edge, and his string of indiscriminate murder seemed to agree with this. Personally, I was also interested in discovering this knight's true identity. I then received news that the Aval Organization had encountered him and were defeated. It intrigued me that there seemed to be someone in their organization deeply interested in the evil seed. While Soul Edge has appeared constantly throughout history, SOULCALIBUR's whereabouts are still shrouded in mystery. In time, I lost interest and gave up trying to search for any traces of it. But after resuming my search later, I found that it had been taken to a temple in the east at some point. With it were taken a staff able to absorb all manner of energy, and a mirror capable of purifying evil. These sacred treasures were used to create SOULCALIBUR and amplify its power. No one knows what had happened to the Guardians of the Spirit Sword, but they must have met with ruin, losing the Spirit Sword and their other treasures. As for the temple, it later became Ling Sheng Su, a famous martial arts dojo that worshipped the spirit sword and the other weapons as the 3 sacred treasures. But now the spirit sword is no longer there. The evil seed deeply affected Ling Sheng Su, and most likely caused it to attract evil energy. Its martial arts students were soon overcome by madness and battle lust, and ended up killing each other. The temple fell in a single night. Therefore, no one knows what happened to the spirit sword. Only one student of Ling Sheng Su survived. While the survivor didn't possess SOULCALIBUR, there was clearly merit in looking into him. What powers did he possess? What could he accomplish? I was deeply intrigued. I only started writing this tome as a pastime. But in order to give it a clear perspective, I must reveal my identity. I was once one of the guardians of the Spirit Sword. The precepts of the guardians were very strict, one of which stated no guardian may ever touch SOULCALIBUR. But in my younger days, I failed to properly suppress my urges. When the others discovered my designs, they broke my arms and banished me. Amid my despair, I searched for a way to survive. What I discovered was the art of reincarnation. After a long period of training, I mastered the secrets contained within this lost wisdom. I reincarnated myself over and over again, and became an entity that could transcend generations. At first, I didn't realize the price I would have to pay for eternal life. For every time I reincarnated, I experienced the pain of death. It felt like my soul was being crushed. It is hard to put such pain and suffering in words. Indeed, I hadn't managed to completely escape death. No matter what one may accomplish in life, death remains inescapable. My bodies have lain in countless graves, but my soul will never rest in peace. So it was that I came to yearn for the final eternal death I could never have. And such desire began to corrupt my everlasting life. Gradually, I began to seek out death itself. That was 1,000 years ago. My desire for death was at its peak. That longing for true death led me to even take hold of Soul Edge. Wisdom, power, battle lust. In those days, I felt I could do anything. But when it was over, I was forced to confront just how prideful I had been. As a puppet of the cursed sword, I kept fighting to my last breath. And for what? I fought in an age of endless war that spanned the world, all to establish a certain dynasty. That is all I'll say on the matter. I've lived as every type of person. Old, young, man, woman. But I've never felt as much joy as when I wielded that power. However, not even the cursed sword could free me from the chains of samsara. And so I died, and was born again into this world. This tome has become much longer than I imagined it would be. I may have gotten carried away and written a bit too much, but I hope you understand I didn't have time for editing. Not that it matters, as I plan to burn this book to ashes. It may seem strange for me to care about time, as death holds no sway over me. But time waits not, even for the eternal. The cursed and spirit swords are together, and their power grows. Now is the perfect chance for those who seek power. It is time for me to take action. I once wished for death, but now I wish for something else. Now, I wish to cultivate the potential that people possess and lead them to a glorious new future. I seek not meaning or understanding in this. I am not even certain from which of my memories this thought sprang. I feel as if it has always been inside of me, like a memory from a past life. I've thought of one other possibility. Perhaps this memory is from the future, sent back to me by my future self. Or maybe I simply have too active an imagination. Whatever the case, everything will begin once I acquire the power I need. The cursed sword and the spirit sword. I need them both to proceed with my plan. It has already been set into motion. The time has come. Now I shall harvest the fruit of my labors.
creatures are known as warriors with unusual powers, the slayers of monsters and fiends, and eliminators of other forms of devilry. One day, the elite witcher Geralt took on another contract, his task, to subdue a sorceress. The now aged woman, though ever strange, had been greatly respected, yet in recent years, rumors had spread that she was dabbling in the dark arts. She had achieved prominence as a researcher of planes, but if she were to call forth a demon from another dimension, it could have grave consequences. Accordingly, she was a threat to be assessed and, if found guilty of iniquity, a threat to be contained. In search of the truth and prepared to mete out punishment as necessary, Geralt made his way to the ruins of a citadel standing amidst marshlands.
So, that's why I'm here. To check if these suspicions, accusations even, are true. See these demons you've summoned, and if you have, to stop you, punish you. That's the contract.
Tell me, Witcher, do you know what I've studied all these years? The magic, the skill?
Planes, passages between them. Heard you're an expert. Pretty tricky for someone working on their own, gotta admit.
And you? Do you also label me a heretic?
No. Don't get me wrong. Got no reason to suspect you of anything, yet. Just want to talk.
My greatest wish was to access a different plane.
Right. Got that much, I think.
But that is not to say I ever wished to commune with, let alone summon demons and spirits from other worlds. Through rifts into other dimensions, I explored the possibilities, sought another plane. I was but a fisherman casting a line. And then it happened.
What happened?
A response. A strong one from something powerful in a place altogether elsewhere. Bold you are, Witcher, even to venture here. If you wish to see if my studies deal with demons, why, have yourself a gander!
What is this? Head's pounding. Where the hell am I? Some sort of passageway between planes? What's at its end? Another dimension? Whatever it is, sure doesn't sound pleasant. Huh? Don't try me. Really not in the mood.
Burn! Burn! Let's dance. Stand out. Now taste my steel!
Not your lucky day. Damn it. Got away. No ordinary beast, that. Good to know my silver sword works, though. Medallion won't be much use. Got too much to sense here. Huh? Other planes exist. How about that? Kaer Morhen. Sure brings back memories. No way this is real, though. Some sort of magic. Gotta be. Huh. Exactly like I remember.
You appear to be from a foreign land, or am I mistaken?
Something strange about you. Let me guess. Sorcerer?
Some may call me that. However, I have mastered the use of weapons.
Place seems full of people just looking for trouble.
Battle 1. Fight! Get to realize my plans! Battle 2. Fight! Burn! Get ready! Down you go! Down you go! Down you go! Burn! Keep steam! I'll leave your hope in shreds! This isn't for show! No holding back! Down you go! Can't do Take over!
Interesting. Now I see what power you hold. It appears my plans will have to change a bit. To think it would be possible to travel between worlds. Fascinating.
Someone sent me here. I'll be sure to tell her how you feel. Long as I actually make it back to my own world, that is.
Forgive my discourtesy. Pleasant journey, stranger.
Every which way you turn here, you get a skilled warrior, including that last one. Could get in some good practice. No, got things to tend to. Pressing matters. Strange as all hell, this place. They seem to believe in magic, but refuse to practice it. Should have enlisted that guy's help. Might have been a real sorcerer. Preparing potions will be a pain. Huh?
There you are!
You again? Get teleported here against your will? Believe me, I know the feeling.
Battle 1. Fight! Burn! Burn! Down you go! Have a taste! Wrong move! You're mine! Burn! Damn it! You're mine!
That hurt?
Burn! Battle 2. Fight! Let's go! This isn't our show! This isn't our show! Have a taste! You're mine!
this! Let's dance. Stand up. Now taste my steel! Ever fight a witcher? Guess not.
I will kill you!
Teleported all this way, and I'm still killing monsters. No rest for a witcher. Won't do me any good, though, hunting beasts out here. Just not supposed to be here, plain and simple. Gotta get back to my own world. Seem to be places of power in this world, too. Marshes, mountain-bound vales. Source of the power could actually be in another plane. Speculation of that sort's best left to mages, though. Gates appear where enough of the power accumulates. Know that much, but whenever I get too close... that happens. Sorry, not of this world. Don't know your customs. So have a taste of my own special welcome.
Battle 1. Fight! Burn! 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 Get ready! Head! How about this? Down you go! How about this? Burn! Burn! Battle 2. Fight! Burn! Is that all? Feel despair! Let's dance. Stand up. Now taste my steel! Ever fight a witcher? Guess not. Battle 3. Fight! Let's go! Hasta la vista! Lie down. And stay there. Lie down. And stay there. Burn! Damn it. Every time I approach, Gate spawns more of those creatures, then shuts again. Need to keep it open somehow. Should probably find someone skilled in magic. Well, this is just great.
place of power. So where's the damn gate?
What is it you seek, stranger?
You must be that old man I've heard about. Got a favor to ask of you.
Is that a friend of yours?
No. In case you didn't notice, we don't exactly get along. Freaks around here really seem to love me.
I will kill you!
Yada yada. Let's get to it. Show you how a Witcher does things.
Battle 1. Fight! Ring up! Battle 2. Fight!
Let's go. Enough for you? Let's go. Get ready. Let's go.
So, that's how I ended up here. Listen, there a gate around here that connects to other worlds?
As you know, the gate to astral chaos sometimes opens unexpectedly. But to open a gate to another realm, you would need to utilize the power of the sword locked deep within astral chaos.
Go on.
Simply opening the gate will not be enough. You need a signpost that definitively points the way. It needs to have a strong connection to where you came from.
Phantasmal Kaer Morhen. Gotta be it.
If you open the gate at the right place and at the right time.
All sounds good. Except, well, I'm a stranger here. Sure you're allowed to reveal such secrets to me?
I believe I can trust you. One learns a thing or two after years of brutal training to sharpen one's skills to their zenith.
Thanks for the help, old man.
You should know, it is a perilous way. There is no room for error, and you may even fail through no fault of your own. I know not whether I should encourage such a gamble.
Worth a try, as far as I'm concerned.
Very well. I shall teach you a secret ritual for eliciting the power of the spirit sword, SOULCALIBUR.
We finally meet, Geralt.
Like a dog after a bone. Not interested in fighting you. Plain as that.
You cannot escape me. We settle this now.
Fine. Your funeral, then. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Battle 1. Fight! We shall see what a Witcher can do. Let's do this!
To boast.
Sword come! Time to die! What the hell? I'm out! Battle 2. Fight! Down you go! How about this? Burn! Down you go! How about this? Burn! This isn't for show! This isn't for show! This isn't for show! Burn! The true battle begins here! Let's dance. Stand up. Now taste my steel!
Ever fight a Witcher? Guess not.
Battle 3. Fight! Get ready! Too easy! Mercy! I have none! Cuts! I am not out! Bring out! You really are strong! Fight! Down you go! Burn! Ready? Final battle.
This.
Fight! Burn! Burn! Not quite. I like it here on the edge. You're mine. Let's dance. Burn! Down you go! This is ridiculous!
The soul of a warrior now lays here to rest.
Battle 1. Fight! We shall see what a Witcher can do.
Doesn't need to boast.
Burn! Burn! Ken! How about this? Ready, Geralt? You handled it? Really? Right before your eyes! Burn! Let's dance. Stand up. Now taste my steel!
Ever fight a Witcher? Guess not.
Battle 2. Fight! Can you keep up? Fight! You really are strong. Fight! Mercy! I have none! This isn't for show. Let's do this! So slow. That's it!
This isn't for show! This isn't for show! This isn't for show!
That's it! Can you keep up? Your head is mine! I'm just getting started! I am not out yet!
You're a stubborn ass.
You're mine!
Burn! This nuisance really has taken a shine to me. Sorry, gate's about to open. Party ends now.
What? But I was just getting into it!
Had a worthy opponent in you, no two ways about it. Love to finish our fight, but, well, Witcher duties call.
So, you are returning home? Very well. Come back anytime. I'll be waiting.
So long, Samurai. It's been emotional. Been one hell of a ride, but it's almost over. Finally. Great. Now just need to get through the damn gate. Let's do this. Sri Vasu Svaha. Ah! Am I back?
Witcher! As I live and breathe, you have returned.
Head feels like it's gonna explode. Mind keeping it down?
Forgive me, my methods were a bit harsh. However, at least now you know I am innocent. No? How was the other world? Do tell!
Well, it'd take some time.
Then step over here and make yourself comfortable. Would you care for some fine wine?
Warm welcome. Nice and all. But as I see it, you owe me a lot more than that.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history.